YouTube, what's going on? Let's get this back in the video and listen. Before we get into it, you already know. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell, and comment down below on what you want to see next, okay? We trying to hit 1,000 subscribers over here. Just making these daily NBA videos, not daily, close to daily NBA videos, alright? So, y'all just keep watching, keep liking, all that good stuff, alright? Now, we'll talk about the rivals of my team today, the Lakers. So, the thing with them is I'm probably going to title this video something around, it's gonna be something in regards to the options the Lakers have, right? And it's not many options, right? I mean, I just look over here and we'll just start off by talking about them. They're 0-5, right? Everybody's talking about, it's Russell Westbrook's fault or it's this and that. And no, I don't think it's fully Russell Westbrook's fault. He plays a part of it, yes, but there's a lot of issues with this team in general, right? Starting off with, they are dead last. They have the worst offense in the league by far. I did a video on my Clippers the other day before we lost our second game to the Thunder, which I was annoyed about, but it is what it is, about how they got stepped up on offense. They're the 29th offense in the league right now. They've been wildly inconsistent, but the Lakers have, by far, I just look over here at the offensive rating, and they're dead last in offensive rating, and it's by a whole 8 points. They're not even close to the second last. Like Clippers, they're second to last. The Clippers are, right, and they still have a way higher offensive rating than the Lakers, so it's bad. And and this because of their shooting. They're shooting, they're top 10 in 3 points attempted, but the worst 3-point percentage team in the league, right? So they're shooting a ton of threes, and the reason being is because they're getting a lot of some of them they settle in and they're not the best shots. Like LeBron shooting a lot of, kind of contested step back threes and stuff like that. But a lot of these shots are wide open, man. I mean, wide open. Like when you have LeBron and Russell Westbrook penetrating to the rim, you're going to get wide open corner threes, but guys like Lonnie Walker and Anthony Davis, when he gets them, or when Russell Westbrook gets kicked out too, they're just not hitting these threes. Pat Bev has not been hitting threes, right? Like almost all of those guys just mentioned are shooting under 20% from three. It's rough. Kendrick Nunn, for example, he's not hitting the threes. The only guys that are consistently hitting threes are Austin Reeves and Matt Ryan. And they don't get that much PT. Matt Ryan gets like 10 minutes a game. Austin Reeves gets like 20 minutes a game. So they're not getting that much PT, and they're attempting like 2-3 threes a game. So I mean, they're just shooting at a higher clip, but they're not getting enough time and enough attempts to really make an impact. And then this is also a team that's really good on the defensive side of the ball, though. They have the second best defense in the league behind the Bucks, right? And they've really locked in on defense, but they're 0-5 still, right? They can play some good defense, but then they go on offense and you can't shoot a basketball, so it doesn't matter, right? And that leads me all to say I really think they only have a couple options, right? Now, Russell Westbrook, I'm gonna bring him up, of course, because he's one of the only guys you can trade, right? Russell Westbrook, and I don't even necessarily think it's all his fault. The media and everybody, they use him as a scapegoat, but partially it is his fault, but it was never a good fit. I was saying, anybody I messed with, I was saying when the trade originally happened, when everybody said they were going to be in the finals, I said it's not going to work, it's not a good fit. And that was not me being a biased Clippers fan, that was just me being real. Like, it's not going to work, there's just no way. They don't have shooting in a shooting league, right? And they it just didn't make sense, right? So the trades, of course, everybody be talking about the Pacers trade, right? Russ to the Pacers for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, which in theory I like. But the thing with Miles Turner, right, is the thing with this trade in general is how much of a problem does it really fix, right? Let me just go to Basketball Reference and pull up Miles Turner, because Miles Turner can shoot and will shoot the three, but it's not like he's a wildly efficient, actually like a 3-point shooter. Miles Turner, here we go. I mean, this season so far, which he's only played in 2 games, he's shooting 37% from three, which is a lot better than what they've been getting out of their guys. But first career, he's around that 34, 35% mark. I mean, it's just last season he shot around. Last 2 seasons he shot 33% from three. On how many attempts? On around 4.5 attempts a game. So you still necessarily wouldn't call him a shooter. He can stretch the floor and he will shoot them, but he's not necessarily a knockdown 3-point shooter. And then Buddy Hield, of course, he's of course a knockdown 3-point shooter. He's going to shoot him at a high clip, and he's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. But I think about it from the standpoint, you do that trade. What is that trade? What does that really do for you? That doesn't make you a title contender in the West at all, in my opinion. Especially when you still have Anthony Davis not shooting well. The rest of the team's still not going to shoot well. And then, yeah, that takes away those Russell Westbrook minutes, and you have really one knockdown shooter, and then you have the big lineup up front with Miles Turner and Anthony Davis, who always wants to play the 4 anyway. But it doesn't make you. Maybe you make the playoffs, but that's not what they want to go for. When you have LeBron James, you want to win a championship, right? So if that's making you, maybe we can make the playoffs. What is that? That doesn't do nothing for you, right? There's no. I'm not. If like the thing with me, that if you're have LeBron James on your team, I'm not satisfied with just making the playoffs, even just a deep playoff run. I want to get to the finals and win the championship, right? And if you have Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, it's no different than Russell Westbrook pretty much. You might have a little bit better regular season wise, but you're not doing nothing in the playoffs, right? So there's the only other options, right? So I think that option, it might still be on the table, but they don't really want to give up their picks either. So like, who knows? That trade might just fall through at this point if they don't want to give up the trades. Then you got the option of exploring the trade options for not only Russ, but indeed that trade, but Anthony Davis. But then I think about it, well, how high is Anthony Davis's trade value? Because you're not trading LeBron, that's off the table, right? How high is Anthony Davis's trade value? And for a guy who misses a ton of games, already missed some games he already just missed last game, missed a game this season. And for a guy that is that big of a talent, availability is huge, right? So how high is his trade value actually, right? And we know this is a guy who can be a top 5 player. When they won the championship, he was considered a top 5 player. A lot of people consider him the second best player behind LeBron, right? But you can't, if he's not going to be available ever, then his trade value is just going to diminish, right? That's the same reason I don't think Kawhi, if he were to be traded, his trade value isn't as high anymore because he's had another major injury coming off of it, and so he's not going to be as available either. So, if that's something to think about if you want to look into it, but you're not gonna. I don't think you get enough to get a championship out of it. I think it'd be better off just to keep Anthony Davis and hope he gets back to that MVP form. And you're not going to trade LeBron. So what I think they need to do, I think the absolute best option is you have to tank it out this year, and you have to be like, okay, well, this year we're going to have to ride out with what happens, because once we have free agency, that's what, 45 million freed up in cap space. You don't got to bring Russ back. Let me just take a look at upcoming free agents. 2023 free agents NBA. But yeah, you don't have if you let Russell Westbrook run out, right? You have a lot of guys on the market. Of course, Kyrie Irving's the big one. But I also think about it in the sense of, do you really want to make another big three too? Like, if say they just ride out the season, they maybe get to the play-in, or they don't even make the playoffs, not going to win a championship, of course, and you let Russ walk, you don't try to bring him back or anything, and then you just pay all that money to Kyrie Irving, what is that really going to do either, right? Because in my opinion, well, it gives him more shooting, right? Another player that's going to put the ball in the bucket. But I think what they need to do is they want a championship with LeBron and AD, and then a bunch of some good quality role players around them who can hit shots, right? In my opinion, don't waste, if you're going to go get Kyrie Irving, don't waste all $40-something million on him. That's the only thing you're getting. Now you're only getting more guys with vet minimum that can't shoot, right? I think they need to make it a priority. Chris Middleton's also a free agent, but he'll be back in the Bucks, I'm sure. Miles Turner will also be a free agent, and if he doesn't sign an extension, you maybe get him on a friendly deal. But he'll probably get a solid amount of money. You got guys like Harrison Barnes you can maybe bring in. Kyle Kuzma will be a free agent, who knows? Bojan Bogdanovic, guys like this that like Bojan Bogdanovic would be a huge pickup for them. I know he's older, but if you can get him on a low tier contract, if he doesn't re-sign with the Pistons or they don't give him an extension, I mean, that'd be somebody that'd be huge for them. That's a guy who's going to shoot 40% from three. And there's just a lot of guys like Gary Trent Jr. could be huge for them. They can get him on like a friendly contract that's under like 15 mil. People like that who are on these type of contracts. These are all upcoming free agents. If you get guys like that, I'd be more confident in championship odds. But it would take AD getting back to that form, right? Getting back to that All-NBA MVP form. But we've seen it before. We know Anthony, if he can stay healthy, that's a big if. But if Anthony Davis and LeBron James can both stay healthy, you have a chance, right? And if you have shooting around them, if you have shooting and solid defense around them, they definitely have a chance, right? I mean, even in the year before they got Russell Westbrook, when they were the 7th seed and lost to the Phoenix Suns, people still have faith in them in the playoffs. They went against a really good Phoenix Suns team who went to the finals. But if it wasn't for injury, they could have been a 7th seed to get out of the first round, right? Because they still had solid guys around them with LeBron and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis got hurt, of course. That was a big reason why they couldn't get out of there. And they went against a really good team. But still, you were still confident in that team, but you still have to have those good quality role players that know their role, that aren't gonna be messed up by the big lights of LA and be more worried about what's around them than the actual game. And yeah, man, I mean, I feel like that's the only options. Now, the one thing you might say is, well, why is it's LeBron? He's pushing 40, right? You don't want to waste a year, but I think no matter what you do, this year's wasted anyway, right? I think this year's wasted anyway, so if it's already wasted, just wait it out. Let Russell Westbrook go in free agency. Or you can even send him home right now if you want to, right? If you don't want to play him anymore, but there's no point in trying to trade him and getting more longer term contracts. You might as well just hold on the expiring deal, hit up free agency this summer. If you go after Kyrie Irving if you want to, but in my opinion, you should just go after some good quality role players who can shoot the basketball and are going to shoot it confidently, and some players that are going to play defense. If you can have that combination of that number 2 defense in the league with some good shooting, like they did in 2020 when they won a championship, that's what I don't understand. You won a championship doing that, so why change it? These big threes haven't worked, right? They didn't work with the Nets. They haven't worked with the Lakers. They haven't worked with a lot of teams, right? When people try to form big threes, they don't work. They can't have 3 players making over $35 million and then expect to have good quality role players. You can't. The rest of the teams just vet minimums, right? Except for Pat Bev, and Pat Bev's not on nothing either. So they have I'm telling y'all, if you wait it out on Russell Westbrook, you just have another bad season. As much as y'all hate to hear it, another bad season, and then boom, you hit free agency, go big on next season. I think y'all have a chance next season. But I appreciate y'all, man. Talking about the Lakers, even though I'm a Clippers fan, but hey, we're not gonna hate over here. We're really telling the best things to do. So appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like the video, of course, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.